In this video, I'm going to present some images and even a video of some phenomenon that were going on in Medjugorje. These were things that were sent to me via email almost probably over a year ago, and I've been kind of sitting on this, so I figured I might as well get the information out there regardless, and you guys can be the judge of it. The person who sent this information to me has been at Medjugorje for many years, on and off. He has an intimate relationship with the area. He's actually sent me some of the images that you saw in the glow-in-the-dark Medjugorje statue video that I presented earlier. I'm not here to really judge one way or the other. I do think it's still an interesting phenomenon one way or the other. It's either, like I said before, one of the biggest scams on the Catholic Church, or it's one of the most important things going on in the Catholic Church, or perhaps it's something in the middle where there's some good and some bad going on at this place. Either way, there's a lot of basically some mysteries kind of going on at Medjugorje. And what I'm going to present here, I'll give you guys some backstory on the images from what he told me. And I mean no disrespect in any of these images, sharing these. He's given me permission to share this. I'm skeptical and have my own opinions about some things, but some things are definitely a mystery to me. But if you guys have any information one way or the other, definitely comment down below. And if you too have any information regarding Medjugorje that you guys want to share, I want to send my way, that'll also be pretty good as well. So that's all I'm going to be doing in this video. Hopefully we can get to the bottom of this, or we can shed some information, or at the very least, this will be just entertaining for you guys to check out.
Join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
Okay, so some of the backstory behind this video was at this convenient time where he kind of puts his camera on. You hear the bells going in the background, the church bells going in the background. He happens to kind of put the camera up towards the sun. And what we're really going to be focusing on is an image of a face that's going to be manifesting where the sun is. And according to him, this was not only resembled a pronounced face, but a face with a cigarette with some smoke coming out of it that apparently resembled his facial features from what I gathered.
You can actually see the holy the chalice in the again. You can see it. That's only comes from Medjugorje. It doesn't come in any other sky. And it's funny that there's a wee bit. Oh my God! There's a face in the clouds with a nose and eyes. Look. Oh no! Can you not see it? It's just a wee bit of cloud cover, it's a shame.
Is the host in pink?
So that was the whole video in its entirety. If I go back and just kind of freeze frame that image and crop that image, this is basically what the outline was. It's probably a little more pronounced, I think, when you actually watch it transition, but if you still shot it, you can kind of outline the cigarette with the smoke. On the left-hand middle of the screen is the black little cloud is signifying the smoke. And what he told me was that at the same time he was having a cigarette, so it was almost like the clouds were kind of replicating his image in the clouds. It's hard to say. Again, I wasn't there, and I can see it'd be probably more pronounced if I knew what his facial features looked like, and you know, it may probably more meaningful to him seeing it. But at the same time, it also could just be simply a trick of the sun and the clouds kind of hitting and creating a coincidental image. So take that with you will, guys, that one, and then just again comment down below if you have any opinions on that. The next few pictures I think are, my opinion, a little bit more so substantial than this one, but then again, that's just my opinion. All right, the next image was something the person said he personally took as well. This is at the Risen Christ statue in Medjugorje. This statue is notorious for it has this phenomenon. I don't know if it's constantly leaking liquid, but there's this water that always kind of is flowing out of the statue. I've heard a number of criticisms about this, that this could be a simple kind of little pumping system where water is being pumped out. Some people think this is a legit supernatural phenomenon. Regardless, you can see people kind of reaching up and touching the liquid there. But the thing to kind of pay attention to is in the top portion of the picture. You see that little floating little image there, and then in a second we're gonna zoom in. He said he didn't notice that at first, then later on he went back and kind of saw that image. All right, and here's a still shot of it. Again, I'm not really sure what to make of it. He said a friend of his said this looks like a piece of a human heart. I don't really know. There were some recent pictures I saw online of some weird kind of sky phenomenon that kind of looked like this, like almost like a tearing in the sky type of phenomenon. But I don't really know. Could this just be a simple, issue with the camera, or could this be something substantial? I'm not sure. Now, personally, of all the images he sent me and video he sent me, I personally think this one is the most interesting for a number of reasons. And again, this is kind of taking his word for it, but he said this picture was taken from one of his friends who lived in Arizona, who he hasn't talked to for many, many years. She showed him the picture first and was more so commenting on the light rays hitting this statue of Mary in Medjugorje. And then he later noticed up close there was this kind of odd, thing there between that lady in white towards the left middle of the screen and between the Mary statue, and you can see, I'll zoom in a second, but there's this floating, essentially it's a floating book of, like a Marian book, just kind of floating, there's floating image. That's kind of unexplainable. He said that the woman who actually took this picture had very little technological knowledge. He actually taught her how to use the camera when they were there. And so assuming that no one tampered with this, and again, taking his word for it, again, I don't know, is it possible someone could have tampered with this image? I don't know, but this alone I thought was probably the oddest and weirdest picture. Again, when you're assuming that this is what he's telling me is authentic, but again, I don't see if he was going to make up something or make up a story, or if that lady was going to make up a story, you could throw in some other images that'd be a little more substantial. But here is that picture up close. Again, as you can see, it looks like almost like a book of Mary. Why it's kind of floating diagonal, it's thrown through the air, why it's tilted. I don't know. It certainly looks like someone could insert this image. Again, I'm not a Photoshop expert how to do this stuff. Those of you guys that are out there know a lot about photography and stuff like that could add some comments to this, but an odd picture, definitely an odd position, an odd meaning. I'm not exactly sure, but interesting nonetheless. All right, and the final image I think is also fairly interesting. What you're seeing here is like a fireball in the sky type effect. You can see the sun is off to the right-hand side. That's why kind of the glow of the sun's coming that way. And what's interesting about this is that, again, according to him, taking his word for it, not just him, but also his friend took the similar picture of this fireball that they saw in the sky. If this was just me seeing the picture, I would think this is just kind of like a lens flare or some sort of trick of the, some photographic, just issue or blurb in the image, whatever. But I think according to him, he said they saw the image and they took a picture, and they have photographic proof of it. So that's it of these images. Take it as you like, guys. Definitely comment down below if you have any questions, comments about this type of phenomenon, and definitely please share your own experiences. I'm definitely would be interested in knowing more about this or any of your experiences out there in Medjugorje.